Hello everyone, welcome to Go Global World, GGW Sharks. This is the 40th event. It's been 40 events over a year. We are doing this event every 2 weeks, helping entrepreneurs to connect with investors from Silicon Valley and beyond. And this is where you do your 2-minute elevator pitches with an aim and a hope to connect, to get a warm connection after the event with selected investors for this particular session. So it's been such a success, such a blast. We have hundreds of people participating every event, and I think about 5,000 participated so far for the past 1 year and something. Well, let's make it, let's take it to the next level, enjoy it, have fun. I'm going to show you a few slides, present you the rules, the investors, and we'll jump right into it. Well, let's start and talk about Go Global World. Go Global World is a platform. It's a place where investors and startups connect. We have verified network. You need to be approved to get access. You can create your free profiles, and then you can match to each other. If you give us your precise criteria, our technology will make sure that you will have precise connection to the relevant deal flow as an investor and relevant startups, relevant investors as a startups. So in startups and investor connect, investors and investor connect. And it's not stopping in there. Our technology is evolving, we are learning on your actions, so we make these really smart connections. Well, it's like, I might remind you LinkedIn, where you can create your personal investor profile and share with others. And you can create your startup one-pager and share with investors. So as an investor, you have apply for funding button where they can apply, and the system will decide whether someone is a fit or not a fit, even outside our own network. And as a startup, you create your one-pager, put your 60-second video elevator pitch and key data in your profile, so the system can pitch on your behalf 24/7, and investors either pass or connect. This technology is powerful. I'll give you just a very basic snapshot of how we connect. We at least take the main things like stage, vertical, business model, which focus geography, but it's more than that. We are really focused on making relevant, precise connections. So you don't have to waste your time on connecting or searching and getting into relevant people. Well, when we say that, we mean it. And so every time you get a connection, the system processes this and makes sure that you are getting only relevant ones. So you get this list of what we processed, how we decided, and you take a final decision, either pass or connect. Well, that's it. I will put the link to the platform here in the chat. But before we get started, remember, let's make some noise. Let's make this event viral everywhere. Take screenshot of our during this session of us and post it on social media. So spread the word. Let others know about us, about this opportunity that you participated, and invite other entrepreneurs and investors to this event. So we don't have to pay Google and Facebook to bring you over here and keep this event free for everyone. We have our website and email in here. Now, GGW Sharks, the event number 40. And I'm really excited to present you our panel. I'll let investors to present themselves in a moment. But today we have Julian, Tedja, Alexandra Zemlyak, Elena Gantvarg, Radim, Plsko, and Jon Langbert. Well, I'm really excited. It's awesome to have such an honorable and amazing panel. And before we get started, the rules are really important to make this event valuable, exciting, at the same time efficient. So please keep yourself muted all the time, except for investors. Raise your hand to pitch. You get 2-minute elevator pitch without slides, plus questions. But to be selected to pitch, you have to have your first and last name here in your Zoom profile and your company name and your video on. We want to make sure it's real people. We know you, so before we let you speak. This is important, please do that. That's why I'm emphasizing on that. Now, respect time. We have a hard stop after 2 hours, and GGW platform members will pitch first, then those who filled out their startup profile on our platform, so we could pre-verify you. And if you emailed us that you wanted to pitch, of course you will have priority because we already agreed with you beforehand. Then all the rest will pitch as well if you get time on a first come first served basis. And what the criteria we use? Quite simple. You have to be a startup with a scalable business model. You need to have a sales and evidence of IP. Talk to my team here in the chat. The name here is Go Global World. If you want to pitch and you want to be put on the list, just text them and they will decide who's going when. Then, if you have any questions to me and my team, this is our email. Remember, we have other investors here in the chat. So network, support each other. We are one network. Go Global World is a place where founders help founders. So keep doing that. And how to make this ideal 2-minute elevator pitch? Keep it as a story and get to the point of what you do. It's always what investors are asking. They're always frustrated if you're talking about something else. Get to the point right away. And then explain why you're unique and what's your traction. And if you pitch before, then say what significantly has changed since you pitched last time. Network, support each other, and let's get started. So I'm really excited, guys, to get started. And now this is the time when I would ask investors to present themselves. Some of the investors you already have seen before, but let's learn about them, what their criteria, what they do, where they're from. Elena, let's start from you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm with Flint Capital. We're an early stage VC based in Boston. We do seed rounds and Series A rounds. The check size for seed rounds is anywhere between a few 100,000 and $1 million. The check size for Series A is between $1 million and $5 million. We're generalists. There are a few areas that we are always looking at. Those include digital health, cybersecurity, fintech, enterprise software. We prefer B2B companies, but we have very successful B2C companies in our portfolio as well. I'm looking forward to hearing the pitches.
Fantastic. Exciting to have you all the time. Elena participated already many times, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Julian, your turn. Julian, first time, so looking forward to know about you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Daniil, for having me. So I'm Julian. I'm an associate at Moonshots Capital. We're an early stage fund that typically invests at the late seed to Series A, with the average ticket size being anywhere from $750K to $3 million. We have a diversity thesis, so we love to back veteran leadership, and kind of our core thesis is that we love also to back extraordinary founders, extraordinary leadership. And so very excited to be here. In terms of our sector focus, we typically like to invest in space tech, deep tech, consumer tech, as well as fintech deals. And we will usually like to lead, but we'll follow or syndicate if the deals make sense. Excited to be here today.
Excited to have you and look forward to the event together. Well, Jon, thank you for coming today. Jon has been here several times, and we're really excited to have you today as well.
Thanks, Daniel. I'm a serial entrepreneur, now retired in Boston. I moved up here from Texas to follow my 3 kids who are now in college. And I do full-time mentoring for startups and started a syndicate called Seneca late last year. I focus on food tech, B2B SaaS, and of course, being in Boston, medical devices.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And we're moving to Radim. Radim is the first time investor in here from Czech Republic. So tell us about yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm with Presto Ventures, which is a Prague-based venture capital fund, so from the Czech Republic, but we are investing throughout the whole Central and Eastern Europe. We do mostly B2B SaaS deals, but also have some marketplaces and Web3 startups in the portfolio. And we do pre-seed, seed, and pre-series A investments. That meaning in terms of the investment tickets, usually between 200K to 2 million euros or dollars. And yeah, that's it.
Sounds exciting. We have a lot of guys at pre-seed and might be interested in your criteria. Well, Alexander, great to have you again. Please tell us about yourself and your criteria, and we are getting started.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Daniel, for inviting and organizing this. So I'm Alexander, principal at Geek Ventures. So at Geek Ventures, we're early stage VC. We invest in pre-seed and seed from idea stage through to early revenues. We typically invest up to $500,000 as a first check and then up to 1 million as a follow-on. We're a generalist fund and we focus on investing in immigrant founders in the US. So I personally based in Israel and we have 2 partners who are based in New York. So very excited to hear the pitches. Thank you.
We're excited to have you all. Thank you, everyone. And we are getting started. No time to wait. The first person and first founder to present today is Milan Sankhani from Admission. Milan, you ready? Let me find you.
Yes, Daniel.
Okay,
Can you hear me clear?
let me locate you just a second. Milan, I found you. All right, so you got 2 minutes and you may start now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Milan Sankhani and I'm the founder and CEO of Admission. You guys know international students are really important for the university's diversity, growth, and the financial sources. And they have contributed $45 billion to US and $22 billion into Canadian economy last year. But sourcing and recruiting those international students and processing their documents like transcript, mark sheets, SOPs, and LOR is a real challenge for universities in order to enroll them. That's when Admission comes in the picture. With the online platform, it does not just help universities to recruit students from all over the world, but also with an API solution, automates their document processing in order to select the best fit students for their programs. We have recently launched with the Nigerian market, helping Nigerian students come here in North America, onboarding 9 paid university clients and 5 more in the pipeline. We have secured 20 contracts as a B2B sales channel in Nigeria and still growing. Due to limitations of our MVP, we are not, as of now, restricted. We are restricted in terms of onboarding more universities, and that is why we are raising pre-seed round of $450,000 US in order to move forward from an MVP to online full product and also in form of initial hirings. We are estimating to generate $15 million revenue by the end of the year 5 and growing more simultaneously. So looking forward to answer all of your questions that you may have.
Right on time. Thank you so much, dear Sharks. This is the first presenter. What's your questions? I'm excited. What do you think?
What do you charge per customer to do all that work for them?
Yes, so we do not charge anything to the students. We charge only to the universities, where it ranges from per recruited students 10 to 20% of the first year international student fees. And we have the second revenue stream, which is an annual subscription of an API solution to automate their document process.
I'm a little confused. Is this the application process or after they're accepted, you're processing their documents to get them into the country?
Yes, so the very first one is the application process, and for that we charge them universities as a commission. Once the students apply to the university's application portal, from the back end, university actually go through each and every student's profile that can come through us, directly application from the students and other education agents as well. So from that point, we help universities to process all those documents with different education system, transcript, mark sheet, SOPs, and LOR. We extract those data right from the documents and match them with the program's admission criteria and suggest to universities which students are eligible or not, and with also helping other document sentimental analysis, give them the best fit student suggestions. So the very first part is the recruitment, and the second one
Got it.
is the document assessment.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Dear listeners? All right.
How are you planning to?
Go ahead.
I have one question. So how are you planning to expand to other countries? Because I can imagine this space is quite different in each of the countries. So what's like your go-to-market strategy there?
Yes. So for we have started from Nigeria with using the local recruitment agents, and they are helping us to get Nigerian students in. For the Asian market, where which is the 75% demands come from, we are partnering with the schools, colleges, and coaching centers right there to generate the continuous flow of the students every year with the minimum cost of marketing, and also providing ground level supports with partnering with the NBFCs and financial institutions in order to help students as well for their financial journey, for example, education loan and everything.
What is your average sales cycle length of selling to universities?
Yes, so for that, it's actually the first cycle is 6 to 8 months. So we have recently launched, so that is why we are pre-revenue. But after first cycle, it's going to be every 4 to 6 months.
Well, the question to the Sharks, is there any Shark interested to connect? Are you guys in or out? Anyone in?
I don't really understand the business per se, so I'm out.
Okay, it's a fair feedback. All right, thank you. Milan, great job. Please put your GGW profile and information here in the chat, and keep networking, supporting others. Thank you for your presentation. The next startup, thank you. The next startup personally inspires me the way they automate AI and coding, and the founder of Platma, Yaroslav Kologrivoy. Yaroslav, you ready? All right.
Yes.
You've got 2 minutes, and you may start now.
Okay, awesome. Daniel, thank you for warm intro. So my name is Yaroslav. I'm co-founder of Platma, and we would like to liberate small and medium businesses from IT dependencies. We call it extreme no-code software development platform. So it's not a low-code and no-code platform, which were created by tech engineers for tech engineers to make them be more effective. We decided to go much more farther. We created a platform which understands natural language, simple English as a code. So our customers is ordinary product owners or owners of the business, small businesses who would like to digitalize their business processes and eliminate all manual stuff. What we have at the moment, we launched a little bit more than a year ago. At the moment, we raised 1,850,000. Our lead investor is Almas Capital, US-based fund. We have 2.1 million revenue for the last 9 months. Our MRR is 130,000 for the last month. We 56 people in the team, and we would like to penetrate the US market since now. So I'm in US at the moment. So basically, this is the main information. I'm ready to answer all your questions.
Wow, sounds exciting. Dear Sharks, it's your turn.
Yaroslav, thank you for the presentation. So I was wondering, so where are your customers today? Do you have any US based customers? If not, where are your customers? And what is the average check size that you see?
Okay, so our main customers at the moment from MENA and the PAC region and from Europe. But we do not have customers in US, but we have leads. We have leads, and even we have negotiation with JP Morgan Chase, and would like to close this deal in the nearest future. So we have two kind of ICPs. First and the most important for us, it's a final customer, owner of small or medium businesses, and we have today we launch our SaaS model. So the price for them is from 25 up to 100 USD per month. So it's subscription, they can use it and do all the customization for their business processes as they want. Another ICP, it's our ambassadors. There are two types of our ambassadors. First of them, it's IT integrator, who started to use Platma to do digitalization for big enterprises. At the moment, we work with 9 of them, like Naventic, it's a huge billion company, like a second, and so on and so on. By the way, Naventic started to use our platform and invest $500,000 after that. And another ICP from this direction is, I call them SMB aggregators. So the companies which provide services for SMB. It's banks, insurance companies, logistic, delivery services, and so on and so on. So we came to them, for example, to FedEx. We do not work with FedEx. We came to FedEx and presented them Platma. With our platform, your customers will eliminate all the manual stuff and will be more effective up to 10 times. That means that they will use your services up to 10 times more often. We just need you to integrate our button into your ecosystem. At the moment, we have 16 such pilots with, like FedEx, it's Mist Post, it's a company which mainly work in APAC region. They covered 16% of all Alibaba deliveries. So through such integrations with such SMB integrators, we penetrate to the SMBs with the most effective way. Do not spend a lot of money on advertisement and marketing and so on and so on, like in the partnerships. Yeah, and your second question. So for the first, it's 25 up to 100 USD. If we are talking about such ambassadors, it depends on their request, so it could be negotiated. And our main revenue at the moment are from the second ICPs. So 2.1 million USD that we already raised belongs to this ICP. And today we just launched our SaaS model, and we will increase these small tickets with SMBs.
Fantastic. Are there more questions from investors?
What is the difference from other low-code, no-code solutions?
Yeah, it's dramatically different. So it's absolutely another mindset. So all other low-code, no-code platforms require you to know or languages of programming or domain-specific languages, etc., etc. In our case, we teach our system to understand declarative natural language. So you can just start to explain like you will do it for freelancer or for business analyst or for your IT expert and so on and so on, just declaratively what you would like to have. And the system will ask additional questions and will generate the software on the fly for you after you will answer this question. And by the way, we do not use ChatGPT. We use our own internal models. We have 2 R&D departments inside the company, and this is our model. And the product, by the way, it's open source solution. It's one of the reasons why IT integrators would like to work with us, because there is no vendor lock-in. They can update some elements of the platform. They can contribute and even receive passive income from our marketplace. Once someone create some additional tool, connector or template at Platma, and this third party will start to use it, we will have a revenue share with the owner of this element.
What is the biggest country for you in terms of clients and revenue?
At the moment, it's United Arab Emirates. There are a lot of space there for digitalization. There is no huge vendors like SAP, Oracle, and so on and so on. But there is a huge market in US, North America as well, because all SMBs, they are not use such solution like SAP, Oracle, and so on and so on. They do everything manually using Excel and so on and so on. So it's a huge market. It's $190 billion US market.
And how much do you need to expand to US in terms of funding?
So our current round is seed round. It's 2 million. We almost closed it. The next round we will launch in 6 months. It will be 10 million round, mostly for global penetration to US and other countries. And we almost agreed with our future lead investor. There are several funds that would like to be a lead investor, like Insight Partners and even SoftBank knocked to our door. But we have to achieve KPIs at least 300K up to 500K MRR to face this proposal. And for Insight Partners, it's very important to have clients in US. So that's the main reason why, for example, I'm and my partner in US at the moment. So we're trying to close this deal.
So you're planning to burn those 2 million in 6 months?
No, we already raised 1,850K. We also received 2.1 million revenue, and we have quite enough money for next 9-12 months. And during this period, we would like to raise next round to cover all our needs with penetration to US market, increase our offices, to establish support departments in different countries with different languages and so on and so on.
What is your current monthly burn rate, and how do you expect that to scale with US expansion?
Our current burn rate is around between 150K up to 180K.
Okay, and then with US expansion, you're expecting that to grow to what amount?
I think it will be around 250 or something.
Perfect. Well, the question to the Sharks, who is interested to connect? Who is in? And we will connect you with Yaroslav. Who is out?
I think your traction is great, and you should be really happy with where you are with your raise. It's not a good fit for me. It's in a competitive space, but I think you're going to do just fine.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think I'm in, so I know that we've already been in touch in my company with Yaroslav and the team, so I'd love to learn a bit more. So happy to speak.
Perfect. One Shark is in. Fantastic. What about the rest of the Sharks? Radim, Julian, Elena?
Yeah, I can look. We can connect and maybe continue conversation somewhat later, because we do require the company to have some traction in the US. So it's a little bit early for us in that sense, but I'm happy to talk.
Okay, so
Yeah, I feel the same way. We mostly invest in companies that are incorporated in the US, but it seems like you have good traction, and so open to continuing the conversation. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. By the way, our parent company is Deliver Company. So we have several sub companies on Cyprus, in Ukraine, in Portugal, and in United Arab Emirates, in Kazakhstan and Azerbaijan. But our parent company is Deliver Company.
perfect. Radim, are you in or out?
Yeah, I know Yaroslav been in touch actually with one of my colleagues, so I'll leave it up to them. But thank you. It was great presentation, and I know your growth was extraordinary in the recent months. So congratulations on that.
Exciting. Thank you, Yaroslav. Great job. Please share your GGW profile here in the chat. Support others, and well done. Good luck with your project. We're moving on. The next person to present is Leo Plaza. Leo, you ready? Are you there?
Yeah, sure.
All right. You got 2 minutes, and you may rock now.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Leo, founder at Spruces, and a bit about my background: 10 years working in hotels and managing hotels. So let me tell you a bit of a story with one hotel chain in particular called Oaks Hotels and Resorts. They have 60 properties in Australia, and they have a $25 million cost of cleaning each year that they're looking at this as a cockroach that they want to crush very quickly. Very inefficient way of operating the hotel. I know how to do that much better. So we at Spruces, we've actually come up with a product that is going to allow them to save a minimum of 30% of this cost. Oaks Hotels and Resorts have shown me that they want to do it. So next month, we're going to do a trial in Sydney in one of the hotels, and then with the opportunity to scale up to all the hotels. Yes, so basically, that's what we're doing with one hotel next month. And then there's other hotel chains that are interested in also using our product. And yeah, so basically what I'm here for is just to get a bit of capital to actually onboard these hotels. That's my prime aim to get out of this pitch today.
Perfect. Thank you.
So,
That's like
welcome any questions. Yes.
Yeah, good job. Dear Sharks, was enough information? Do you have any questions?
So are you a cleaning company? So what are you actually doing? I couldn't quite get it.
So I do own a cleaning company as well, where we've been trying this out for like a year. So we've been trying out this productivity tool, which is like basically like it's a on-body camera. I should have explained that, but yes, some on-body camera that the cleaners wear. So that makes the cleaners become smart cleaners because they're connected online and they have cameras. So this eliminates the need for like someone else to have to go to the site and do quality control and safety. And so basically that empowers the cleaners to be their own supervisor. And to again, to answer your question, yes, I do also own a cleaning company, and we've been testing this product for a year. So now we're ready to actually take on the hotel industry because it has like the highest cost of labor per square meter. So that's where we want to tackle now. So we have, yeah, like I said, 2 hotel chains wanting to do this.
So is your main product the camera that the cleaners are wearing while cleaning?
Correct. It's a SaaS business. We charge $3 per clean. And in the case of Oaks Hotels, they do 1.8 million cleans a year. So we're looking at $5.4 million in annual revenue from just Oaks Hotels. What's important to note is that like Oaks is owned by a bigger company called Minor International. They're all over the world. And as I mentioned, there's another hotel chain that is also, and this comes from my personal relationships in the hotel industry. However, as I've been talking about Australia, but the next step for us is actually incorporating in the US and targeting acquisition through Marriott. So we would like to be, that's our exit plan, to actually put this in front of Marriott hotels.
Thank you.
Is there anything proprietary about your technology?
So
yeah, sure. There is. So because we are validating the market right now, we haven't actually signed up any hotel chains. We are using third-party hardware and software. However, we are working on collecting a lot of the video, and the idea with that is to train our own models. But we're not at the inferencing stage of AI yet. We're just purely collecting data and training a model and building our own software. But at this stage, because we are validating the market, we haven't actually, we are building software, but we're not using that for now.
So who's the one you are selling it to in the hotel? Like what was the department?
So can you repeat that question?
Who's the one who you are selling it to?
Yes. So
like
the actual,
what is the what is the department in the hotel or company in general?
in this case, I'm actually talking to the executive team of the hotel chain. It basically, this is going to be mainly used for the hotel manager, right? But I'm actually talking to, you know, like the head office of the hotel chain, if that makes sense. So like, these are the products that basically the cleaners are going to be wearing. Now, this is the key to know. I don't have enough time to explain, but in a hotel, every time that the cleaner cleans a room, someone else needs to go check, okay? Someone else needs to go and do a maintenance check. So that's up to 3 people per room that get it, that just for one clean. And that means that you yourself, you want to check into your room, you can't because someone hasn't checked it. So these are very low-hanging fruit things that we are going to be able to achieve from day one. The other one is that removing the cleaners from their phones, we have a 20% boost in productivity just by doing that.
Is there already someone doing this with cameras? If not,
No.
why?
Not in hotels, not with the things I know. Obviously, that's just a magical point in time where my experience, the technology team I have around me, and this opportunity of like my relationship with Oaks, that's just a one in a lifetime opportunity. I know that there are cleaning companies in China that are using onboard cameras, but they only use it for like incident reporting. There's no actually intention to turn this into a machine learning computer vision product, which is my intention. To be honest, like a lot of the software engineers that have come to work with me, the intention is to build a model that in the future is going to be uploaded to robots to do the cleaning. That's 5 years, but you can see that our intention here is to actually go in and learn and get data from a place that has never been data obtained before, which is inside a hotel room. There's never going to be a camera in there.
And I can see the advantage of this for other reasons, that you're making sure that the cleaners are in fact spending the time they're in the room and they're doing their job. And I actually looked at another company recently that does a robot vacuum for hotels specifically. And I know hotels are always looking for ways to save money. I'm kind of curious about the economics behind your business.
Yeah,
I'm a little concerned by the convoluted business structure that you described, and exactly how I'd be investing in this and get a return if you're already planning on selling it to Marriott as opposed to growing it into something larger for an investor to see a return on. But yeah, if you want to send me a deck, I'd be happy to look at it.
Yeah. Look, by all means, I could be wrong. Look, maybe that's not the right way to go about this at the acquisition with Marriott. My concern is like Marriott could do this if they wanted to. Why don't I just put in front of them a built-up product that they could take? But like I said, I've had companies. I've got here a construction company that they said, Leo, once you have cameras working, like I want some, because this is something that like it's like you mentioned, there's many applications to this. However, we are picking one place where I already have connections, I already have relationship, and I have an intention, like I mentioned, of like 1.8 million cleans a year that they want to do this. So that's where I'm picking this lane. In terms of the structure of the company, so we are going to incorporate ourselves in the US purely for the R&D and technology company. So then that would segregate the cleaning services that I already have. That would separate that, nicely. So, but it was a great testing ground for us to actually get the cleaners using this and learning what to look for.
Perfect. Are there any sharks interested to connect with Leo? Are you guys in or out?
I personally like the pitch, but I'm out because of the geography. So we unfortunately don't do anything in Australia at the moment. And also, I would love to see the progress with this hotel and with others before moving forward. But thank you, it was a great pitch. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Thank you. What about the rest of the sharks? No one? Okay. Thank you, Leo. Great pitch. We enjoyed it. Please put your GGW profile here in the chat, and we're moving on. Good luck with your project.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next one is Dmitro Rodenko from Lead for Code Talent. Dmitro, you ready? You there?
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
It's Lead for Talent, actually. Okay.
Lead for Talent.
Hi, nice to see you. Yeah, that's okay. So my name is Dima. I'm the co-founder of Lead for Talent. We are AI recruiting platform helping to find C-level candidates in the United States 10 times faster. I'm the founder of 4 businesses, and I really understand that it's really hard to find a good person for a C-level position. If you find a good person for a C-level position, your business keep on growing and you can skyrocket your business. If you don't have this person, well, you start struggling and your business is not developing. So I asked my recruiters, okay, guys and girls, can you help me to find people for my business faster? They told me, Dima, if you can do it with the usual personnel, like linear people or like sales people, marketers, etc., it's easy. There are a lot of them. But for the C-level people, it's really hard to find because the people are not looking for a job. They are passive candidates. And you need to, let's say, work a lot of materials, a lot of databases, a lot of connections to find who is the really best fit. So that's why we decided to join, let's say, our efforts. First, to create a big pool of candidates, 25 million potential candidates. Then to apply AI search on that with informal searches, which is very important because now you can find people using their experience, their location, their education. That's almost it. But here with the AI, we can find people who are ready to relocate, who comply with our code of conducts, and it saves a ton of time. Actually, it's about 10 times less time to find good C-level candidates. So we created a portal where you can find a person, appropriate C person from the C-level pool of 25 million candidates. You can easily find if the person matches with the things that you're looking for. And you can tag this person with several clicks, just contacting with the right AI message and getting a lot of feedback from. So that's what we see here. The market is promising. We have signed 39 letters of intent with the executive search companies. They told us, okay, if you can give us the search engine that will help us to find people with the race, age, gender, and some other informal things that we are striving for, we'll be happy to do so. So now we have a prototype that is actually working.
And your past time, please wrap this up. So what would be your final statement to your far past time?
We are proceeding. We are closing proceed. If interested, let's go for a communication.
Sounds exciting. Thank you. Dear Sharks, what's your questions?
So where do you get the data of candidates? Like, are you scraping them from some databases, or how does it work?
Absolutely, that's a very good question. So what we do, we collect data from open sources, from all open sources. Like we use the data that are not protected, but are located on different sources like Crunchbase, Glassdoor, Indeed, Product Hunt, whatever. Everywhere we can see a mention of a person name, last name, and a position. We can put all this data together. We create a unified profile. And yeah, we collect all this data and make it unified for people to reach and to save them time on finding the information. We use open data, which is legal in the United States. There were several courts that the data belong to the people, not to the companies who collect them. So that's why we use this right, like the Fourth Amendment and the court decisions that allows us to use it for creation of other products.
Dmitry, so I have a question. So it sounds like you have access to the same data sources that anybody else would have access to. So what would be your sustainable competitive mode in this case?
I would say that it's not the same because you can separately go to LinkedIn Recruiter, for example, or to Indeed, and they have different databases. It's number one. We collect it all together, right? And another point, when you work with a big data source, you cannot apply a lot of such criteria on that. And they are not smart, these criteria. So that's why you have to work with a ton of information. And what I see at the recruiting fields, they are overwhelmed with a lot of paperwork and profiles. They see a lot of flat data and they cannot define if it is one better or which one is better. So it takes a lot of time for them to find information, review, and evaluate it. With this portal, we create evaluation platform, and we'll find the best fit for this certain search, which save a lot of time for the people. For example, you can find a person in LinkedIn who is CFA, 10 years of experience in retail, Afro-American, and ready to move from New York to Arizona. It's impossible to do. In our case, it is.
are you in the revenue stage? You actually, looked it up. You have a website that's up and running. How are you doing on revenue and traction?
We are on the pre-revenue stage now because we are on a prototype. So we are growing out. And after that, so we're planning to close the pre-seed round. They increase the database to 25 million. Now we have less than 25 million. So we're working on a prototype with the data. And then we're going to, let's say, open the project for the market. So expect it to be on the September.
Are you raising at a safe convertible note, and what are the terms? Is there a discount cap?
So we are raising 1 million on the valuation of 10 million. So safe is fine, and well, we are open for, let's say, open for communication.
Perfect. Are there any investors in to connect with Dmitro?
To be honest, we are not really hyped about the HR sector in our fund in general, and that's because of the sales processes and budgets in the industry. But maybe you will prove me wrong, and I would love to hear more about it on a calls sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah, I would love to connect.
All right. So one shark is in. Congratulations. Appreciate that. Anyone else? Any other sharks? Okay. Dmitro, good job. Great project. We love it. Please share your GGW profile here in the chat. Support others. And we're moving on.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too. The next one is the founder from New York, Yoni Rubin. He has a great project and looking forward to hear what he has to say. Yoni, are you there?
I'm here. I am.
Let me locate you just a second. Oh, yeah, found you. All right, you guys. So good. You got 2 minutes and you may start now.
Hey guys, doing? My name is Yoni Rubin, guys. I'm the CEO of Margin, MRGN Margin. A little bit about me real quick is that I am a career COO. I've taken part in about $250 million in fundraising, including an IPO and an uplist to the New York Stock Exchange. In addition to my full-time duties with Margin, I'm also a mentor in a couple of accelerators as well as an LP and angel. So Margin has figured out basically how to incorporate or inform your operating plan with real world data. So basically everybody here always creating financial models and operating plan and using business intelligence dashboards. What if you could find out through that data how the stock market crash is going to affect your business and how to mitigate risks, or how the election campaign is going to affect anything? And so that's what we're working on right now. What happens is, first, we're tackling the 30 million small to medium business market with very specific ICPs. Eventually, we'll go broader. But a user comes into the platform. The platform creates, in an automated fashion, creates their financial model, also known as a budget or operating plan for them. And then after that, that's really when the uniqueness of the platform comes out, which is where they can simulate a number of scenarios that might impact their cash flow or business operations, anywhere from HR scenarios, fundraising scenarios, expansion scenarios for brick and mortar businesses. And we are currently building out on top of a patent that we filed. So it's a provisional from last year. We just converted to a non-provisional that allows the platform to basically pull data from outside data sources, third-party sources like Forrester, Gartner, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, into a machine learning engine. And that engine understands how it's going to affect your business and how you can mitigate any risks and prepare for that event. So that's what we're working on. We have no one's doing exactly what we're doing, but I'm sure many of you have heard of the Prize Finmarks forecasters of the world. They only handle the financial modeling. They don't do anything else. And that's where a lot of the users are coming over saying, hey, they kind of leave us in the lurch because then we need an entire C-suite to interpret our financial model or our dashboards. And so that is where Margin comes in and basically we're building a platform that is automating decision-making for small businesses currently and eventually larger enterprises. We're kicking off a fundraise on Tuesday. We're raising $1.5 million pre-seed. We already have 1,000 users on platform. We actually have a whopping $130 million pipeline. One of our board members is a former CEO or president of some major brands that we all interact with on a day-to-day basis. He helps us out with a franchise front where we've already signed Taco John's. We're in with talks with 7-Eleven, Better Business Bureau, Grant Cardone. And then on the municipality side with economic development councils, we're kicking off a pilot with the city of Miami next month. Eventually,
Johnny?
after that, Fort Lauderdale is about a step behind. I'll wrap it up right now. And we're talking to about half of the. What was that?
Yeah, you passed time. Just wrap this up, please. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm going to wrap it up right now. And then we're talking to about half of the counties in New Jersey as well. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for your time, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, Sharks. What do you think about this project? Do you have any questions?
I have a question. Thank you very much, Johnny. That was a pleasure. I can see you're doing a lot of things at the same time. So HR, budgeting, tech, and other things like benchmarking with the market. Then I can see also you're trying to sell, if I'm not mistaken, to both SMBs and also to city and council. So too many things in one place. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, easy. So the first part is everything within your financial model or operating plan. So we're not tackling every one of those. We are not HR tech. What we do is we provide you insights on top of your existing financial model. And we say, okay, you're planning on hiring X amount of people by this time, whatever it might be. We can tell you how to adjust that hiring plan based on what's happening in the if you're planning on expanding into a new brick and mortar location, our platform right now today can tell you how that will affect your business operations. So it's all within the confines of the operating plan. And then to the second part of your question is those are multiple, what we like to call pillars of our go-to market strategy. We have 4. One is large franchises. The other is municipalities, banks and credit unions being the third. And then we have a partner program as well. So we're staggering them. We're not trying to spread ourselves too thin. So we've tackled franchises, or we're in the process of tackling franchises. We're starting with municipalities next. And then we are on the back burner is banks, credit unions, and in about 2 months we'll launch our partner program. So we're not planning on we're not trying to bite off more than we can chew.
And how does it work, like practically speaking? Do you provide the companies with the templates of financial models, and then you sort of guide them through them and you do some advice on top of that? Do you have some sort of human in the loop as well, where some financial consultants that you're helping fine-tune the model, or how does it work?
Yeah, I can happily say none of that at all. We all know what the experience is like downloading a template online and forcing that square peg into a round hole. So what happens is a small business user comes to our website and they register. And we give them the option to register either manually, which is a little bit tedious, takes a couple minutes. They have a CSV upload option if they have an existing budget already. And if they have a cloud accounting system, then we integrate with several of those and we just pull your data automatically, and it's a one-click onboard. Once you're onboarded, the platform builds your financial model automatically. Now, the big question around that is how do we account for the different revenue models? And that's why we've honed in on very specific ICPs. So you're going to tell us basically what type of business you have and how you collect revenue, whether you're a professional services business, a SaaS business, or a retail/commerce business. And that's going to determine how the platform builds your model. After that, it builds it in a matter of seconds. You get in, you can start managing your business to it. You can actually collaborate with your team on it. There's a little bell or whistle in the platform that replaces and automates MBRs, QBRs, and fiscal planning if your business is mature enough. And then you can dive into the simulation aspect where we list about 15 different scenarios. Pick a scenario that you might be in the near future, and within a click or two, you're going to have the answer to your question. And then the way that the machine learning insights are going to manifest is through notifications. So there's a notification pane, and we're going to be able to send you a notification and say, hey, your customer acquisition cost is 20% higher than industry norm. This is what you can do to reduce it. Or we noticed that you're hiring a marketing manager in Q3. Here's a recruiting firm that can actually help you fill that role. Or the stock market is about to crash, and this is how it's going to affect your business, and this is how you can prepare, and so on and so forth. Eventually, we want to get to a place where we can actually automatically adjust your entire operating plan in a sandbox, show it to you, give you the reasoning behind it, and then you say, I like this, and make it live.
Yoni, thank you for your pitch. I'm curious to learn more about the underlying logic behind the scenario analysis. You mentioned simulations. What kind of simulations are we? Is it like a Monte Carlo simulation? Can you explain a little bit more technically how you guys go about those predictive recommendations?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the simulations actually gave birth to the business. So I was in a situation a few years back, about 6 years ago, where my CEO had asked me to, within 24 hours, model out a 15% reduction in burn rate. We were burning about $1 million a month. That was a good deal of money for us at the time, and that was definitely not an overnight 24-hour long task. Ended up taking me a week and a half. I had to talk to a bunch of people, read contracts, do all sorts of things. And that's when I went out looking for a solution. When I ended up deciding to build the business, the simulations were very much at the forefront of that. So what happens is you come into the simulation library and it just lists scenarios that you could be in. So we're not just talking about your vanilla low, mid, high waterfall type of things, but rather HR scenarios around fluctuation of headcount, salaries, and other things. So if you decide for whatever reason you're in a dire situation, you have to cut your payroll by half. In 2 seconds, you can basically figure out how that works, what you're gonna have to do to get to that burn rate. So we're talking like I mentioned, HR scenarios, fluctuation in headcount, fluctuation in salaries. Then we have fundraising scenarios. We have equity and debt included. So if you're considering taking a loan from a bank, come to the platform, select that scenario. Just tell us the terms of the loan that you're considering taking from the bank, and we're going to show you how that loan is going to affect your business operations and your cash flow. We've got a unit economics simulation that is the key to winning the Cardone deal right now. They said to us they love us and they want the unit economics simulation. So literally it's a one click and it gives you a full dashboard of ARPU, ARPA, every metric in a visual, digestible way, telling you exactly how many salespeople you need to reach your goals and so on and so forth. So that's how the simulations work.
Okay. And the question.
I got the two questions. How are you charging for it? And it sounds a little bit too good to be true. So I'd be curious what the renewal rate is on it. In other words, Yoni, you're clearly a great salesman, but the proof is in the renewals. So it sounds like the software does everything. So could you hit those two topics quickly?
Yeah, easy. So it doesn't do everything. I wish it did at the snap of a finger. We're not doing the insights yet. We're building that out. So what we do right now is we launched a closed beta about 1.5 years, 2 years ago around the financial modeling aspect. We only wanted about 10, maybe 10, 15 small businesses to stress test the platform. We figured we'd get them from friends and family. We ended up with 150. We then launched an open beta around the simulation aspect. We ended up with 1,000 small businesses in that platform, in that beta program. It was a good mix of organic, inorganic, and paid acquisition, and churn's been very, very low, but we hadn't yet launched to the public. So we only launched to the public softly two Mondays ago. We're launching hard on April 15th. So that's when we're going to know for sure. But so far, stickiness has been fantastic, and the overwhelming feedback has been we want more scenarios in the simulation library.
And how do you charge for it?
SaaS. So we've got 3 tiers right now. It's a very simplistic payment scheme right now. $29, $89, $129, each driven by the size of your business. Eventually, we're going to add or we're going to swap that out with a more complex scheme. So the current scheme is more user growth based. We're going to switch that out to a more revenue growth based scheme where it adds a 4th tier at $259 for larger businesses, which are not in our ICP today. It'll bump you up automatically based on certain thresholds, primarily headcount and revenue. And then we're going to offer a la carte options as well. That's when you can add more users, more seats, more this, more that, a la carte.
What other types of simulations are you prioritizing in your roadmap for, let's say, the next 12 months?
So right now the unit economics is in design and we're going into development right now. So that's the most important in order to close Cardone. After that, we're working on there's specifically a brick and mortar expansion scenario that right now all it does is it tells you kind of what the cash flow and business operations will look like at that new location. We're going to be beefing that up with foot traffic data and additional data to help you actually identify the location in advance. So you'll be able to say, hey, I'm ready to, expand into a new location, or we might send you a notification saying you're doing fantastic. Maybe it's time to open up a new location, hop into the simulator and see how that's possible. And then we'll say, these are the zip codes and the streets that are perfect for you. We've already identified a partner that does this, by the way. So that's what we're working on. So basically, we're just constantly getting feature requests specifically around new scenarios. So unit economics, brick and mortar expansion. One of the major things is Julian is not specifically the scenarios, but one of the things that I want to get to is right now, several of the scenarios or simulators, or simulations, I should say, spit out very numbers-based kind of outputs, and that's not very useful to small business owners. So we have some that spit out numbers, some that spit out action items. We want to get to a more actionable result to the simulations.
We gotta move on. We have 9 more people to pitch. Yoni, you did such a great job, and I love the presentation. So my question to the Sharks, is there any of the Sharks in to connect with Yoni?
I'd like to see a demo, and I'd like you to reconsider going to municipalities next.
Okay. One Shark is in.
Sounds good.
Fantastic. All right. Anyone else?
In.
Okay, 2 Sharks are in. Congrats.
I'd like to learn more. Yeah, it was a strong pitch, Yoni. Thank you. You demonstrated your salesmanship.
What about
learn more about the
Alex?
I'll tell you guys real quick is that I did not have sales in my blood before I started this business, and it's been a journey, and I appreciate the compliments.
All right, fantastic. Alex, Radim, are you in or out?
It's not a sales in your blood, is Israeli heritage in your blood. So I'm in.
You in the country that you're in, I agree with you 100%.
So the question right now, are we having a jackpot here? Radim, are you in or out?
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Unfortunately for us, I think it's not eligible just because of the geography. But yeah, it was great to hear about the product. Thank you.
Fantastic. So
Radim, where do you guys focus on? What geographies do you focus on?
Central and Eastern Europe.
Agreed. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Please share your GGW for profile here in the chat network. We have also some more investors in the chat as always. And yeah, fantastic. Enjoy that so much. I love the energy.
Thanks for the time, guys.
Thank you. The next presenter is Jakir from Ops AI. Jakir, you there? You ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Let me locate you. Yeah, found you. Okay. You got 2 minutes.
Sharks.
You may start now.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. It's great being here. My name is Jakir, founder and CEO from Alps.ai. It's ALLPS.ai. So it's an AI-powered platform for ID hiring and talent. So basically, I'm sure you're all familiar with ID recruiting. We have seen ID recruiters spending on an average 4 hours per day screening the CVs manually. Excuse me. Manually, and that's a tedious process, and that is costing the industry $50 billion on a yearly basis. So this is where Alps AI, we built a fully automated solution using large language model, basically to pre-screen the CVs and do the matching and ranking precisely. So the recruiter's effort, the hiring manager's effort is saved enormously. So we are at a stage of MVP launch, and basically we are targeting North American market and European market. So our company Alps is based in Switzerland. We are generating ARR of 700K at the moment, and we are raising a fund of 1 million, basically to scale the product and launch in North America and other markets. Yeah. So we have a great team. So we are 10 people working on this problem, and I mean, our biggest differentiator is we have built lightweight adapters, so this can be plugged into different enterprises. We have built a generative AI job description solution, which is already working. And this is seamless at the moment, and that will save a lot of time for recruiters that are posting repeated jobs. Yeah. So basically, we have been shortlisted as a top 10 innovative generative AI company in the DACH region. Yesterday only we got the news. So that's something I would like to share. And we are looking to connect with the right investors to scale and take it to the next stage.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions to Geek?
Are you a confidential informant?
Sorry, confidential? I didn't.
Confidential informant, we can't see who you are. There's no light where you are. I'm just seeing black. Is anybody else seeing the same thing?
No, I can see myself. I'm sorry if that is the case. Are you able to see? Okay, let me turn off the background maybe.
You're just dark. It's probably not enough light. Yeah, continue. Yeah, continue, please.
Okay, I'll try to move the other side maybe.
All right. So, are there more questions to Geek? All right. So now we can see it better.
Okay. I switched on one more light since you get the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you, Jakir, for your presentation. Can you tell me a little bit more about your customer metrics, anything from LTV to CAC, how your users have been scaling in terms of, let's say, month-on-month growth? That'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, we have a growth of 60 hiring companies at the moment on the platform, and we have jobs posted around 80 and 1,500 applications. So in terms of, I mean, right now it's, I mean, this product is in the early stage. So we are going to launch to the target customers in the next 2 months. Yeah. So it is in the MVP stage. Yeah.
I can see on LinkedIn that the company has been around since 2017, but you're saying that it's still in the MVP phase. So why did it take so long to get here?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, we started with offering remote IT teams or the platform. So that's how we started the business. So I was into hiring, and I did see there's a lot of manual process. When I post a job, I get 500 applications in LinkedIn, and that is super time consuming. I have to spend like 3 days screening each CV. So that's where we came up with this idea. And we started working on this model, on this solution. It's 6 months, since 6 months. So prior to that, we were into remote IT teams, and we have that business model as a separate business unit. So this is another business unit we are launching specific to Alps.ai. Yeah.
And I can see on the website you're mentioning 16,000 developers in your network. Where do these developers come from?
They are global. So we have a distribution of developers from Europe, India, and also USA. So it's fully global. That's where we got all the data. So it is the data within the system that we have used to train our models. So the model is used to solve different problems like generating job description and also, for example, for the matching and ranking. So we use the same model to perform different solutions. So it's going to be very generic and adaptable for different use cases, business cases.
Okay.
How do you see yourself penetrating the market? Isn't it a little bit saturated at this point? Like, what's your thesis there?
Yeah, so in terms of penetrating the market, we have been connecting with different, I would say, funds, the early stage funds. So the companies that are transitioning between like seed to Series A, for example. So these companies, they don't have a big pool of recruiters, and these companies are willing to basically use a platform like Alps.ai because for them, it simplifies the whole process of finding the talent and identifying the top 20 talent. So in terms of penetration, we are partnering with different entities, I would say. So we have a meeting next week with Volvo too, the company Volvo in Europe. basically to plug in this model into their HR system. Yeah, so we are having the early discussions there. So, I mean, we are also using digital partners in order to scale, and we are connecting with different recruiters who can bring the network. So that's what we are working on at the moment. Yeah.
Great. So the question to the Sharks, is there anyone interested to connect with Jakir? Are you guys in or out? Anyone? Okay. Jakir, appreciate that. Great pitch. Thanks for adjusting the lights. Please put your GGW profile here in the chat. Continue networking.
Yeah.
And we'll see in future events. Thank you. The next presenter
Thank you.
Kyle Baker. Kyle, are you there? Let me locate you. Shout out.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you guys?
Doing well, yeah. So
Let's go.
You got 2 minutes, and this is the time you may start.
Great. Yeah. Hi, Kyle Baker. Get a custom one. I'm here in the Bay Area. My colleagues Satish Sundar and Dominic Lee and I are working on a mobile autonomous ice slushy drink dispensing robotic kiosk. We have a patent filed for it. We'll be at GTC this upcoming week. Satish is based out of San Jose, and he has created a platform called the MR120, which is kind of a warehouse robot. And Dominic Lee and I are based out of Circuit Launch in Oakland. And Dominic, who's a National Science Foundation endorsed developer, will be guiding and leading Satish's team of 80 engineers out of Bangalore as we integrate the MR120 warehouse robot, which can support 1,200 pounds. And we'll be building vertically on that platform and then building basically like a 6-foot tall mobile autonomous robotic kiosk that dispenses slushies, right? So everybody's had like the coldest drink in town before. We're talking to the West Coast Regional Director of ICEE, Ron Saravelin, and Ron will get our prototype presented to the CEO and CTO and COO of ICEE once we have the prototype done. And they, of course, also own J&J Snack Foods. Our goal is to produce 2,000 of them and to deploy them into convention centers, malls, and theme parks. Currently, ICEE as a company itself is pouring 300 million ICEEs annually at about $3 each. So that's roughly $900 million in liquid equity annually off of 75,000 machines. So if you do the work, if we forward deploy 2,000 machines and they each pour 4,000 ICEEs at $3 each, we've netted or grossed $24 million. Our net would obviously be slightly less than that.
Your pastime. Thank you so much. I'm not sure. Is it like venture scalable business model? But let's see what investors would say. Do you guys have any questions?
Hi, Kyle. Thank you for your pitch. I would love to learn more about your patent in terms of the coverage, as well as whether it's a utility or design patent.
Yeah, of course. We can talk about that offline. Some of the different things, we're talking to Total Security Solutions out of Michigan. So one of the things that we can do to present the finished poured ICEE to somebody is kind of a pass-through door system. So it's kind of like bank glass. So the UR5 universal robot would open the interior door, place the ICEE inside, and then the exterior door would remain locked until the interior door is closed. That way nobody can put their arm in and like try to, get injured by the robot or try to steal the robot for that matter. So the system would be pretty secure, and we have worked in a way to keep the food service items separated from the electronic systems. And we'll also be integrating everything with the NVIDIA Jetson Orin. So there's some protocols in which we're getting the UR5 to talk with the mobile base through TDK sensors, also doing presence detection, so that we will be able to stop the robot and have the robot remain in a stopped position until the transaction's complete and the person is gotten within 3 feet away from the robot. And then the robot can carry forward and cruise through Cedar Point or Disney World or the mall or the Las Vegas Convention Center or CES or wherever.
Right. Are there more questions? Are you guys in or out to connect with Kyle?
Looks like kind of a cool product there, Kyle. I read your post on in the message board here, and I'm a little concerned that you're a distracted guy. You have more links to different things going on than Elon Musk.
Well, we've got a pretty smart team. So Dominic is a Purdue robotics graduate and roboticist in residence at Circuit Launch. And we need to have a lot of, we do have a lot of things going on. And Dominic speaks about 12 programming languages, and Satish and his whole team does as well. So all of the different code that we'll be integrating into the various systems in our system, Dominic will have oversight over, and then we've got a team in place that it's basically like a PhD checking up on a PhD, so that we can keep our lines of code. We're going to have a lot of lines of code when we get this thing done. There's going to be a lot of integration. So we're actually speaking with Edmar Mendizabal at Circuit Launch, or not at Circuit Launch, at GTC next week, who's a developer advocate from NVIDIA, and he's kind of pointing us at the right people to talk to at NVIDIA. And then we have Circuit Launch, where we can have the people at Circuit Launch are actually accommodating us in a way that we'll be able to open up the door space so that Satish and his whole team will be able to activate the robot and drive it around Circuit Launch at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning as we work out the bugs, and then park it and get the robot charging again. And then Dominic and his whole team from Purdue can not only integrate Satish's code and make sure that everything's working right, but then also bringing additional systems online, because we've thought it through to the point that once somebody starts the process of ordering an IC or 4 ICs, I think that's what we'll max out at, is the ability to order 4, that we could run ads on the LCD board. So it could go from displaying IC to running an Audi ad or a Toyota ad or whatever, or Cedar Point ad, you know. So there's a leasing model, a SaaS model. There's a lot of stuff going on. So not only do I have a lot of ideas, but we have a lot of people that can support that.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. Dear Sharks, we gotta move on. What's your decision? Are you guys in or out? All right, Kyle, great job.
I'm out. It's just too complex for
It'll be unique, and we'll paint it with automotive paint. We'll paint it with the coolest looking paint you've ever seen.
You are like amazing presenter and a lot of energy. We love that. Please share your details, your GGW profile. We have more investors in the chat. Network, support others, and we are moving on. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. The next person to present is Anatoly Shilman. Anatoly, you ready?
Yes.
You got 2 minutes, and this is the time you should start.
Hey guys, my name is Toly Shilman. I'm with Cogbias AI. We are building a platform that helps people make better decisions by detecting the cognitive bias in their questions. The #1 reason for product failure, startup failure in the world is cognitive bias. It's never the funding, it's never the customer. It's almost always the misconception that we have when we do marketing research and customer discovery. We ask questions that we want to hear good answers to, that will acknowledge our beliefs. As a former brand manager, I came at the back end into a global pharmaceutical company at the tail end of a 3.5-year project where they finally got canceled after spending more than $20 million in development because there was no market need. Why was there no market need? Because the questions that were being asked were questions no different than if your wife would ask you, do I look fat in this dress? Where there could only be one possible answer. Currently, we're in our beta stage. We have over 100 users. Our initial customer profile is market researchers and product managers. They're the ones who've been pulling the hottest. We will be exploring other verticals as we progress. We're pre-revenue, but we're about to start commercializing in the next month. We're just doing a final UI and UX touch-ups to get it moving. We're also in early conversations with 2 separate Fortune 500 companies to do pilots. that will probably come to fruition in the next 3 to 6 months. We're a software as a service business, so the revenue is a monthly or an annual membership. Our IP is focused strictly on the idea of expert data sets and also figuring out the right context and intent of a bias. In other words, as humans, we cannot get rid of our biases. The one thing we can do is aim them properly. And that's what our system really helps you do. You put in your questions, you get suggestions and explanations to what could possibly go wrong with your questions.
Anatoly, you passed
So
time.
that way,
Please wrap this up.
Yep. So that way, when you get the answers, you're able to ask the right questions and make the right decisions based on the answers.
Thank you.
I'm open to questions.
All right. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions to Anatoly?
Are you based on OpenAI?
Initially, based on OpenAI, we are going to be going off of it and building our own LLM. The OpenAI was the cheapest way for us to gather data. Our CTO is a PhD in machine learning and artificial intelligence, so we already are architecting the pathway forward. But we're utilizing OpenAI because right now it's just too cheap to pass up to gather all the expert data set that we want to build.
Anyone interested to connect with Anatoly and learn more about his project? Anatoly, great job. Thank you for presenting. Please share your profile here in the chat and support others and join us in events. Appreciate that. And we're moving on to the next one.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we have another founder to present. Is Ksenia Lenarchuk from Sly. Ksenia, are you there? We don't have many female founders presenting. It's always awesome when we see female founders presenting. So, Ksenia, we're looking forward to hearing.
And I'm very happy to be here. Can you hear me? Just making sure my AirPods are working.
Yes, we can, and you got 2 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, super. So hi everyone, I'm Ksenia Lenarchuk, representing Sly. We're based between Italy and California. So today I'm actually speaking to you from San Francisco. It's nice to be in the same time zone. So at Sly, our purpose is to empower wildfire resilience. I decided to dedicate myself to this purpose after my family relocated from Canada to southern Italy in the middle of 2020. And unfortunately, we had a large fire on our agricultural land. Being unable to find suitable solutions on the market, we decided to build a solution as a service solution that allows organizations to rapidly detect all fires across their entire land footprint and assess their risk such that the most dangerous fires can be contained in time. The types of organizations that we work with are electric utility operators, for example, where we have actually just
Ksenia, I think there is, the problem with the connection.
Signed a large or an MOU with one of the world. Am I back?
Your internet connection is very weak. We barely hear you. Should we let you connect, maybe reconnect, and maybe you go up to someone else, like up to the other one, so you may reconnect to internet? Just we don't hear.
Let's move on to the next one. Let me fix the internet, okay? We'll blame it on the hotel here. I'll find another internet.
Yeah. So the next presenter is Alexander Glavaty. Alexander, you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Yeah, you may start now.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Alex. I'm the co-founder and CEO of WeGoTrip. It is a self-guided audio tour app powered by AI. So every day, millions of travelers spend $6 million on guided tour and fall into a small hell. Guide trusts the tourists lost in a huge group of tourists. They don't hear or see guides and lose time in long extra attractions. WeGoTrip allows travel by its own rules. We provide self-guided audio tours with instantly availability. We already helped more than 100,000 travelers explore 350 cities worldwide with $1 million GMV and our GMV revenue margin 55%. Now we're looking seed round to 5x sales and to increase our revenue margin from 55% to 75%. Thank you. It's all.
Thank you, Alex. All right. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions to Alex?
Alex, could you please tell us a little bit more about competition? Because I think that it's quite a competitive space. I've seen quite a few companies doing
good question.
something very similar.
Yeah, so we have direct competitors like company like us, but all of them provide only sites in city tours. We first company who combined skip line tickets to museums with audio tours and start to provide with combined tours in one app screen. If you want to visit Louvre, you will book audio tour, ticket will be included, and you need to show interest taken and listen audio tour. It's easy. So, and also we have indirect competitors like OTA, online travel agencies, Booking.com, etc. But all of them, it's our sales partners because our main competitor strategy is cooperation. And now we use big data from our OTAs, I mean sales partners. And last month we launched our AI tool for reducing audio tours. It means that we can cover an endless audio tour in any language, in any destinations. And we start to use big data from our sales partners for covering audio tools worldwide. In this year, we plan to launch 50,000 audio tours in 6 languages. And we look like ideal supplier for our sales partners because their conversion rate is growing with us because we provide instantly availability. All of our tools have the same quality, I mean high quality.
All right.
And yeah.
Thank you. Please try to be concise when you respond to investors, so because there are plenty of others to present and investors might have interesting questions for you. Anyone else have questions to Alex? Do you guys, anyone interested to connect? Anyone in? Okay. Alex, great job. Thank you for presenting this. Please share your profile. Keep supporting others. So this is a networking event as well, and we have more investors in the chat. And we are moving on. Thank you. So let's ask Ksenia again if she's ready, as she seems to be reconnected from again. So let's try again. Ksenia?
Okay. How's my audio now?
Good. Good.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So let's try again. So good afternoon. I'm Ksenia. I'm co-founder and CEO of Sly, where our purpose is to empower wildfire resilience. I decided to dedicate myself fully to this purpose and resign from my corporate career at BlackRock when my family relocated from Canada to southern Italy in the middle of 2020, and we had a large fire on our agricultural land. Being unable to find suitable solutions on the market, my technical team and I set out to develop our own, which is why now we're coming to market with our wildfire monitoring as a service solution that allows organizations to rapidly detect all fires across their entire footprint and assess their risk such that the most dangerous fires can be contained in time. The types of organizations we work with, for example, are electric utility operators that have a huge unmet need, almost a regulatory-based need to mitigate fires across hundreds of thousands of miles of electric lines going through high fire risk areas. As a matter of fact, we have just signed an MOU with one of the world's largest service providers, 2 electric utility companies. Most of them are actually in the US, and we're starting to deploy with them in California, of all places. We're very excited about that. So the solution consists of two parts. It's a sensor-enabled software play. So our business model is, while we sell sensors as the first step, it is actually a subscription-based model. Sensors that we use are gas-based sensors. So we quote smell fires. We don't see fires. So these are gas-based sensors that run AI on board, which is how we're able to detect fires very, very quickly by effectively scanning continuously, nonstop, around the clock chemistry of the air. Once fires are detected, it is our software platform that shares these insights with our clients and users. And we add in this additional layer of risk assessment, which we feel is equally as important, such that those most dangerous fires can be contained in time. We have completed our pre-seed round in December into our Italian entity. Our US Delaware C Corp is quote clean. So we're currently in the market looking to scale our manufacturing of sensors to meet the very large demand for deployment and looking for capital providers, again, for our first round here in the US. I'll pause here and happy to answer questions.
It's kind of interesting. So what area does a single sensor cover? Is the idea to cover the entire country or just to put them around transformers or places where fires are likely to occur or likely to start?
Thank you. Amazing question, John. And so I'll answer your first point directly. So each sensor covers about 10 hectares, or in acres, it's about one sensor every 20 acres. So while they do have a fairly long range, of course, we're not talking about selling one sensor and your quote, sort of all problems are solved. I think with sort of the second part of your question, you were in a way indirectly comparing us to other types of technologies that are already getting deployed in fields, such as cameras, for example, where the sort of approach there usually is to deploy a camera right around your most valuable assets, around your most critical infrastructure assets, such that those fires can be caught early. Now, the question there is what happens to sort of the rest of your infrastructure, and which is where sort of we come in with our sensors that are incredibly low priced, right? So some of those cameras cost organizations tens of thousands of dollars. Our sensors right now will manufacture at $20 each. Once they're deployed once, they stay in field for 10 years without maintenance. So as you amortize the cost down and down, you're sort of almost nearing zero, which is why effectively we are a software subscription play, and this is our model. But sort of back to your original question, yes, sensors have a fairly broad range. Now, the reality is that we're still talking about deploying thousands of these devices, which is where cost, of course, has been an important consideration. And we feel that we have sort of solved for that and removed that barrier to adoption.
Thank you. Are there more questions?
What's the potential size there?
Sorry,
I'm not sure I got an answer to the question. So is the plan to put sensors across the entire country or just in locations where fires are likely to start?
So it depends on who is our client and user. So if we are working with electric utilities, which is a largest by market size vertical for us, the idea there is that these organizations are already deploying other types of technologies, again, such as cameras, such as drones. There is a lot of innovation happening in the field right now, but those types of technologies come with blind spots. Right, and electric utilities, again, given
could we just cut to the chase? Which is more likely?
Yes. We are putting sensors along the entire length of an electric line because we are able to, one, actually connect our sensors thanks to direct-to-satellite connectivity, which isn't something that cameras can do. And from an user's perspective, what we solve for them is eliminating blind spots and covering their entire land footprint such that the entire length of a line, in this case, is covered and monitored, and they are able to detect fires truly everywhere, as opposed to picking and choosing some of those more critical assets.
So the final questions to the Sharks. Who is interested to connect with Ksenia? Who is in, who is out?
Yeah, I would love to learn more. Ksenia, thank you for your pitch. I think, first of all, condolences to yourself and your family for the the climate disaster that happened. It sounds really interesting what you're building, and so I'd love to connect.
Fantastic. One Shark.
Julian.
I'd like to take a look at the deck too.
2 sharks are in. Anyone else? Awesome. Ksenia, great job. We will connect you with Julian and Jon after the event today or tomorrow. And keep doing what you're doing. It's an amazing project. We love that. Great pitch. But please share your GGW profile here in the chat so we have more investors in there and support other entrepreneurs.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Ciao.
Thank you. Thank you. And the next person to present is Mark Kozlovsky. And the other Mark, Banop from Lerise, will go next. So Mark Kozlovsky, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, we can see you, and you got 2 minutes to start.
Thank you. I'm Mark Kozlowski. I'm the CEO of an event software company called UpToVents. We noticed that the $2.1 trillion event industry was dominated by literally hundreds of single function companies. To throw a big event, an event owner would need one company to do ticketing, another to provide point of sale services, another to provide marketing capabilities like email, push, and text messages. They pay a fixed fee for an app with a map and schedule, then they'd have a CRM. We're doing something ambitious at Upt. We're building a capitally intensive software product that we intend to be, frankly, a moonshot directed at Live Nation and the broken ticketing industry. Eventbrite and Ticketmaster collect a fee for selling the ticket, but then they offer zero value after that. We charge a ticketing fee as well, but this grants event owners and production companies access to a full spectrum product to manage and measure every aspect of their event. For our ticketing fee, we provide a whole host of features: ticketing, a self-built point of sale system, email, push and text, forms to bring in vendors and sponsors, a map with an app and a schedule, holistic data analytics, as well as growing AI capabilities. And we get results. In our past events, we've experienced attendee spend increases as high as 115%, so $53 per person versus $24 per person. We're currently raising a $2.5 million round with about $1 million already committed by a strategic partner who's connecting us with customers and licensing payment-related patents to us. We'll use investment funds to build out the robustness of our multi-featured product, prepare it to scale. To date, we've invested about $2 million in the product and the capable team, and that product is one of a kind. Nobody else does that in the industry, and we collect more data than any of them. We're looking for investors who believe in a clever software solution with a SaaS business model that can provide much needed structure and automation in, frankly, a monopolized event industry.
Awesome. Sounds exciting. Thank you, Mark. Dear Sharks, what do you think? Do you have any questions?
You get around the fact that Ticketmaster has these agreements with all the venues out there to get the venues to, you have to wait for those agreements to expire and then sell them. And Ticketmaster seems like a pretty fierce competitor.
They are.
Believe me, I would love to see your product succeed. I hate Ticketmaster, but I just think that it's like, I don't know, I can't even come up with an analogy for how evil they are.
What we see is that they've got an unequal amount of power in the industry, particularly with their venues. But what they don't control is they don't control the other revenue opportunities around the event ecosystem, like point of sale opportunities and online payments and the marketing aspect and growing on-site spend. So there's a lot of opportunities that have been sectioned off because of Ticketmaster's dominance of the entry ticket. And that's something that we think has a lot of value, even for unticketed events, like a 100,000 person free event. You open up a beer garden and you're generating like 20 to 50 grand in every 1 to 2 day period. So there's just a lot of other revenue verticals that right now are getting boxed out because of the dominance. So they focus on venues. You're absolutely right. We tend to focus on more grassroots events that are festivals, beer festivals, food festivals, and things like that.
How do you make money?
We make money on our ticketing fee, but we've also got a number of different revenue verticals. Like we built a full point of sale system that takes a percentage of spend. We've got a token system that allows for carnivals, tokens, and things like that. We take a piece of forms and payments like booth fees and whatnot. But we also have marketing, email, push, and text that we have a small charge for. And we've got an AI that will be tying in over the coming years as we train it from its toddler stage, such that we can take a percentage of the increase in revenue that we cause, essentially trying to incentivize people on a personalized level to make a purchase at a given time by analyzing both their demographics as well as their spending.
And there was a lot of opportunity there. I think I saw the show at the Sphere in Vegas recently, and that was a Ticketmaster venue. And then somehow they had it linked in with Uber at the end to get the ride or to book the ride as part of the program. So there are a million revenue opportunities out there. I think you already listed half of them.
Particularly with micro engagements. You can imagine running a 50-50 raffle or a reverse raffle at any given event that exists. You can imagine doing a auction. You can have sponsorship opportunities that you take money in for. And the second that a large sponsor takes a look at our event portfolio where they've got the potential for 1 million impressions across all of our events per year, we start to have the outside sponsorship opportunity that can help fund our business model and help us crack the recipe of, if we send a push notification to somebody at X hour of an event, are we capitalizing a potentially 100% margin sale by giving them a 5% discount to the beer garden because we determine that their spending history indicates that they'd be inclined to make that purchase sooner rather than waiting for that 100% margin.
And speak about beer garden. So I can see you're the founder of Beer Me, and I was under my radars for some time ago. So what happened with this company?
That's actually the payment function that we built into the UpToVent product. We tested that payment function after I got an MBA at Wharton, and immediately after that, we put live a mobile payment app at 30 bars in Philadelphia called Beer Me. And our intent there was to create a point of sale system that could execute a transaction in less than 10 seconds. What we saw was that when we applied that to the larger event industry, which is what we pivoted to, we could increase spend dramatically by decreasing our sales time. We'd sell to an event owner and then we'd get 10,000 people at a festival. And it wasn't just the ticket that brought us a lot of the value. It was the point of sale opportunities that originated with the Beer Me product. We then built some of the other organizational and other payment and coordination and CRM features around the product. And that recased is what UpToVent is this day.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So anyone interested to connect with Mark and his team? I guess in or out?
Yeah, I'd like to see the deck on that one, because either you're going to get bought out by Ticketmaster or you're going to get assassinated by Ticketmaster.
We already have an acquisition offer by a major ticketing company soon to go public. So we're confident that our tool set exposed to a single function dominant company like a Ticketmaster or an Eventbrite would be able to offer them access to a bunch of other vertical opportunities with their current customer base. Thank you, John. I'll send that over to you.
All right.
Yes, time with me. I'm also happy to connect.
Two Sharks, congrats. So Mark, don't worry, we will connect you via email today or tomorrow, so you'll have a direct intro. Any other Sharks? 2 are in, 3 are left thinking. So anyone? Okay. Mark, congratulations. 2 Sharks out of 5. Great job. And we're moving on. Please share your GGW profile here in the chat and support others. Thank you. The next person to present is also Mark Banup from Lyrise. Mark, is there?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm here.
Okay. Put it on stage. Good to see you, man. You got 2 minutes. Go for it.
Thank you. So, hi, everyone. I'd love to present you Lyrise and our mission to unlock AI for every business. Well, as an AI engineer, I was speaking to so many company executives, and I realized that 80% of global company executives can't find the AI use cases to start with. They don't know where to start with AI. And for those who do, 80% of these AI projects fail due to misalignment with ROI and the high costs of engineering. Well, all of this is of the past because we launched Lyrise AI, the platform for companies to adopt AI easier and faster, where we use generative AI to match companies with the highest ROI AI use cases and match them with the AI teams they need to maximize their ROI faster. We've been getting so much great traction since we launched. Over 50 small, medium businesses and startups in North America and Europe joined our platform in the first 4 months. And we grown our MRR by 3x to $40,000 in just the last 6 months, and landed one of the biggest legal firms in all of New York and the US. And we've been having such an amazing team working with us. They have built and co-founded AI and data companies before and scaled them to product market fit over Series B, and backed by an amazing advisory board that worked at the top AI companies in the world like Google, Meta, and Tesla. Today, I'd love to offer you this amazing opportunity to join our mission and scale to the next stage, because we've been getting amazing traction from our alpha, getting users to say, this is a game changer. Where was this a few months ago? This will change the AI adoption market. And today we're planning to invest a seed round in fully automating in engineering and product, fully automating our approach, and invest in the go-to-market channels that got us our previous customers, like content marketing, webinars, SEOs, to scale to over 1 million companies and be the market leader.
What would be your final statement?
Yeah, to scale to 1 million companies and be the market leader in AI adoption.
Perfect. Thank you. Dear Sharks, do you have any questions?
So I have a kind of mismatch between what you're pitching, Mark, and your LinkedIn and website. So, I mean, are you providing AI talent, like a marketplace to hire AI talent to companies? Is that what you're doing?
Yes. So Alexander, this is part of our solution. But when we spoke to so many executives, we realized that this isn't enough. And what their problems is that there's so many executives today that are looking to adopt AI, but they don't know where to start. So they don't know what AI use cases are best for their businesses and what's the ROI. So we've developed in our product a generative AI tool that plugs into the company's data and is able to provide them with the highest converting ROI use cases that they should work on. So they give them, for example, this legal firm, we showed them they do due diligence. And we showed them that in their process, they spend tens of thousands of hours from their paralegals to actually write these due diligence reports manually, and around $500,000 a year. So we showed them with a team of 5 engineers over 7 months, they can fully automate this process by an LLM that writes these reports manually just by investing 100K with us. So that would make them 4x in return. And we show them at the beginning. And that's where we get the aha moment. And I'm sure you know, as investors, when you get a clear path to ROI, the energy changes. You get really excited. You want to know, okay, how can I build this? How can we get this ROI? And that's what we get with company executives and users.
Okay. I mean, still, I mean, I'm out just because I don't see, you know, the match between still what you're doing and the way you're pitching. So it's just maybe me, but I like it to be more precise and more clear, the way you present it, because at the end of the day, I understand what you're doing. You have definitely a good angle of, you know, connecting to the data, but at the end of the day, I want you to pitch me what you're actually doing rather than, you know, a very high level vision. And I'm getting a bit frustrated, you know, hearing a very high level vision without actually understanding what you're doing for like after 5 minutes of the conversation. So thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Alexander, for the feedback. Thank you for that.
Other sharks?
And just to expand, yeah.
Let's see if any other sharks have any questions to you, Mark. Do you guys have any questions? Anyone else? Are you guys interested to connect with Mark? Anyone in?
I actually spoke with Mark earlier this week. We met through Go Global in a prior conversation.
Okay. So,
yeah. Hey, John. How are you?
So Mark and John connected on our platform. Okay, anyone else? All right, Mark, great job. We love the energy. We see that you are very like work hard in your pitch. Thank you. The feedback you get, make sure that you have your LinkedIn in line with what you are pitching, so you don't have that questions. And yeah, please share your GGW profile here in the chat. And this is the time when we wrap this up because we're already almost 2 o'clock. Those who didn't get a chance to pitch today, please text to my team info@goglobal.world. So we'll let you pitch next time. I'm gonna put this email here in the chat, and my team will give you priority. Make sure that your GGW profile is fully filled in and approved, so we make sure that these are the real people and verified people pitching. Now, dear investors, how are you? So it's been 2 hours. You were listening so many pitches. It was so much energy, and you did such a great job. So thank you for giving us so much valuable feedback. And this is the time when we would like to hear you with your feedback to the audience. I'm gonna change your locations, seats, so we don't have the same. Let's say you don't have the same sequence as last time when you started. So please share your feedback, whatever you have on your heart and mind, with entrepreneurs, wherever you want them to listen and hear before we go. Radim, let's start with you. Do you have any feedback to entrepreneurs for this session?
So firstly, I would like to thank all of you who pitched. It was great to hear all of the different products that you have and that you are trying to be the next big thing. And for us, it's of course a little bit, we have a narrow focus because like of the geography. So for me, it was definitely interesting to hear also what is going on other places in the world, because of course Central and Eastern Europe is quite specific, I would say, case when investing into startups. It's still a emerging region, especially compared to the US. So yeah, thank all of you, and it was great being here.
Thank you, Radim. We will be excited to have you again. Thank you for the feedback and accepting entrepreneurs. Appreciate it. Elena, Gantvarg, your turn.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for great pitches. It's never easy to pitch your company in a couple of minutes. So I'm not going to be original here. Not every time I'm asking the companies to not feel discouraged if you didn't get much interest today. Again, we passed on many companies that were proved to be very successful afterwards. So it doesn't mean anything. Just continue the hard work.
Yeah, thank you, Elena. This is great. And before we proceed, guys, I'm also putting some links to the investors' profile on our platform. So this is where the platform can also help you to match with them if it would be a match on both sides, of course. Now, we're moving on to the feedback. We want to listen feedback from Julian.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was my first time. It was an amazing event. Congrats to all the founders. You guys all gave great pitches. In terms of feedback, just a couple of points. Firstly, tell the story, right? But you want to tell it at high enough of a level so we understand your vision, your strategy, your roadmap. But at the same time, we want to get into the business model, the unit economics. So try to be really concise in terms of how you tell your story, especially when you only have 2 minutes. Secondly, really listen to the questions posed by the investors. I think Alex brought up a great point of really active listening and trying to understand and directly answer the question that's being posed. There was multiple times where we were maybe a little bit more confused after the answer that you gave. So if you can be a little bit more direct in your responses, I think that's helpful. And then, yeah, just show your enthusiasm, right? It's really important that you show good salesmanship, whatever type of pitch meaning you have, show that you're a domain expert, show that you're really passionate about the problem space that you're building, and let your founder market fit shine through. So those would be my 3 tips.
Thank you. Great words. Thanks for the feedback, and excited to have you next time as well. Thank you. Alex, your turn. Over to you. What you say?
Yes. Thank you, Daniil, for organizing this. Thank you, judges, for taking part, and of course, thank you, the founders, for making this to this call. So really enjoyed the pitches. So first of all, great pitches, and I agree with Elena that in the end of the day, it's actually us VCs who are service providers to the founders, and the founders are the ones who are driving the companies forward and making the shareholder value and making sales and hiring, and so you actually do the hard work, and we're just here for you to provide you a very small portion of your success. So don't get discouraged from no's or some misses from the VCs. And secondly, I want to say that being able to present your company and to make the pitch in a very good manner is very important, both for investors, for employees, for partners, for everyone. So, and for us as a VC, we really assess your ability to pitch. So I do advise you to work a lot on your skills to pitch, because this is very important. So move forward, and wish you a lot of success. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Always
you're on mute.
Yeah. Always looking forward to have you. Appreciate the feedback, and well said. Well, Jon, you are closing our global session. No pressure on you. So whatever you have to say, have in mind, do that.
Well, my 4 fellow panelists here have done such a great job on the summarizing. There's not much I can add. I do appreciate the backbone it takes to show up and do a 2-minute pitch online like this. I would say the entrepreneurs are very optimistic, and that comes through in the presentation. That's very important to bring to the table. I second everything Julian said. Those actually have the same comments written down that Julian said, because they're so important about being concise, especially with your answers. I got confused on a couple of these pitches. You got 2 minutes. What do you do? And how are you going to make money at it? I was surprised how few people actually talk about how they're going to make money in the business in their 2-minute pitch. That's really why we're all here. After all, it's a very competitive market. The VC has been tightened up, particularly the pre-seed stage recently. So your pitches have to get that much sharper to get funding. And as Elena said, we're going to pass on a lot of good deals, and we're going to do a lot of bad deals. That's just the nature of it. It's a numbers game. So don't take any one no as a rejection of you personally. But once you get about 10 or 20 in a row, you got to start wondering, maybe there's something about my business that needs to pivot. So don't take it all the way to the end of your career there. And then one last comment is get mentoring out there. You're an early stage organization that can help you, or people that can help you with your pitch. Practice before you go on these sorts of shows. I personally mentor for a company called the BMT. No cost to you, no equity involved. You just pitch to them, and it's a 2-hour session. They're going to come back, they tear your pitch apart and help you rebuild it and make it stronger. Take advantage of those opportunities out there, and you'll increase your odds at getting funding.
Thank you, Jon. Well said. Always great to have you. And I have a small announcement before we all go. We're gonna have a GGW Sharks offline in Palo Alto on March 26th. There will be invite-only event. It's always free, so stay tuned. We're gonna post this on our event page, and some of you will be invited, especially investors who are present here locally or can be at this time in there. definitely you will get this opportunity to participate as an investor and as a startup. So this announcement will follow. So now, please share your feedback in our feedback forms. Shout out on your social media about this event and future events. Support us on social media and join our events. Thank you everyone for participating. Guys, you did a great job like pitching to investors. 2 minutes is hard. I totally agree with investors. We love you all. Thank you investors for your feedback. Thank you everyone for your time. We'll see you on our future events. Have a great rest of the week and stay in touch. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks. Bye.